Hello, hello, hello. We are live. With more clueless rigging. This time the technology should be correct from the get-go, because I come prepared. Seems good. Welcome everyone. It's nice that you guys have notifications on, so I have some company in the beginning. So, the plan for today is to not freeze. 23 degrees, that should be pretty good. This room always feels colder than what this thing says. The plan for today is to continue on Snow's face, but in more detail, to make this ear rig better, and then to do some weight painting on the forehead, eyebrows, and the eyelids. We stay away from the jaw and the lips for the beginning. Then once we have eyelid weights, we can add the eyelid twisty thing that Rain had. We'll add some controls for the eyelid ring that are a bit higher levels than the ones that we have here. We'll slap a rig on the teeth, which is easy enough. I think I'll go with the sprite fry rig, so it's going to be like a very squishy, squashy teeth. I mean, of course, if you want to do a realistic animation, then just don't use those controls. And then some master controls for the lips, but nothing complicated yet. We'll try to do the nose squash that Rain has. And what else? And then we'll maybe start some cleanup on the lower half of the face if we have time. And then if we still have time, then also we'll set up some higher level controls for the cheeks, but not super high level, just so that creating the actions later will be a little bit easier. Something like that is the plan. Welcome everyone. Yeah, for future streams, maybe I'll try to schedule something on YouTube more in advance, so it's less out of nowhere. But I don't know, man. It's kind of hard because sometimes 10 minutes before I'm about to stream, it turns out that I have other stuff to do, so I can't stream. So I don't want to promise that there will be a stream and then it gets cancelled 5 minutes before. So I don't promise anything, but we'll see. Maybe now things will have calmed down a little. Okay, so Snow is squinting in a weird way. Let's fix that. There we go. And let's grind down this to-do list. So starting with the ears. Not that anybody would ever use the control that I'm about to set up here, but just in case, I'll set it up anyways. So we'll have our ear root here, which we want to indicate a bit better that it's an ear root, because currently it's quite a shy bone. Just make it bigger. I mean, it could be a bit more creative, and maybe I will, but for now, let's just make it bigger. And then what I would like to have is a second bone. And now I'm gonna call that maybe just ear.l. Yeah, why not? Just ear.l and ear.r. Wait a minute. I want my dark theme on YouTube so I can actually read the chat without going blind. Okay, we have some ear bones, and I'm gonna give these some kind of bone shape. Let's figure that part out. I think I want something like a half circle, but I don't think I have a half circle in my presets. So I'll just do a circle, and this button doesn't work, but I wish it did. Where's my widget? Whatever. Here. So this is just a circle, but I want a widget ear. And let's change this to that. And then do some awesome modeling. So what I would like is a semicircle. I should probably just call this widget a semicircle because that's what it is. I shouldn't have rotated it actually. Let's just name this widget semicircle. And then I'll just use the bone shape transformations here. Does rotation come after translation? Yes, that's good. Then give me -90 and some scale. Something like that. Sure. Okay, and so we will want this bone to own some of the ear stretchy bones that we have, but only partially own them. Or maybe these two it will fully own, and then these ones it will partially own, something like that. Or maybe I should change the angle of it. Nah, this is fine. So I'll slap an armature constraint here. Target Demeter rig and ear.l. And copy that constraint to this guy. And also to these guys. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. And then I'll reduce the... Oh, well, this one will need another target, which is the head, which I don't have here, so I'll have to use the generated rig. Even this might work, but I guess it's kind of confusing, so let's just do it like that. And then copy the constraint here. And let's try that out. Here's a wireframe for somebody who was asking. Oh, crap, wait, something broke. What? Deaf ear does not exist. Because this doesn't create a deform bone? But it should. No meta rig found for this rig. Something is terribly wrong. Maybe it's my parenting order that it doesn't like. Let's try this. Def ear.l was used twice. Huh. Is that because the root ears deform bone is also called deaf ear? But wait, this other guy doesn't even need a deform bone anyways. Don't worry about it. SRP ear 2.l was used twice. Now I'm confused. I should fix the quaternion rotations. Ear 2. strp ear 2.l. Why would that be created twice? Oh, because we have two armature constraints. Ah, that should never happen. Haha. I am a fool. That's all. What is the secret to walking without sliding? I guess you have to probably just trial and error, to be honest, but I guess you're supposed to figure out how fast your character is supposed to move for your animation, and make their route move as fast. But as to how you can calculate that, not entirely sure. But I'm pretty sure you will get the same result faster by just trial and error. It seems that the cheekbone is parented to the ear, which is kind of not ideal. Yep. We can fix that. But also, actually, technically, this should ideally be parented to deaf head. And now it will be. We had an error in the console. I know, it's fixed. I'm watching Spider-Man today. Are you gonna see it? I would like to see it on Saturday morning. Before climbing. How much time take one rig? Long time. Hard to answer. Weeks or months. Depends on which time frame you wanna ask. The initial rig, couple weeks, week and a half, depends on how much you work on it. How many hours? I don't know. Like, let's say 40 hours for the initial rig, and then another 100 hours, another 40 hours spread out throughout the feedback iterations. So 80 hours, one rig. Bam, that's your answer. Every rig in my life took me exactly 80 hours, precise to the minute. That's not true. But yeah, I don't know. Why is this guy moving along with the other guy? Oh, because this thing owns this entire... Okay. Then this was parented wrong. This is what I meant to do earlier. Dying to find the answer to how to weight paint the inner parts of the mouth. Zoom in. I don't know. Kind of just eyeball some weights from the cheekbones to the top of the inner mouth, and the same at the bottom, I guess. I mean, as long as it's out of the way and doesn't clip, it doesn't really matter how it moves exactly, I guess. So I rig it quite imprecisely. I don't worry about it too much, I think. But I mean, it's inconvenient because the entire time I'm inside his face, and then I just use vertex masking to make sure I don't paint something that I don't want to. I guess, but we'll see when we get there. Maybe this stream? I guess no, not this stream, because that would be after I do the cleanup of the cheek weights, I think. Actually, I don't know. Cleaning up the mouth bag would be like super late, I think, because it's kind of a small detail, I guess. Okay, anyways, now this ear setup looks correct in terms of what the bones are doing, but I think I will tweak the numbers a bit. Let me hide these nightmare layers. This bone is doing some twisty, funky thing. Let's see if we can prevent that. What are our bone axes doing? They are being all over the place, it seems. Let's try to pick something consistent then. I don't really know what. I'm just going to arbitrarily decide that I will flip these two to give these a consistent direction. So, twisting, be gone. Damn it. There we go. There you go. Not that it did anything evil, but I'm sure it was about to. I thought policed the bendy bones. Okay, so I think I want more influence on this guy, or... I mean... yeah, I guess. And that's about it. Which means I come to this armature constraint and I reduce the influence of the head. Let's try that. I feel like this is going to be the longest stream series on this channel. I don't think I'm going to stream the feedback iterations of the rig, because once the rig is done, for the most part, it will be a lot of small adjustments over long periods of time. Maybe like the first feedback session, like improvement session, can be a long enough one to be worth the stream, but then after that, it's gonna be like I'm gonna work on the rig for 20 minutes and then go do something else. And I'll repeat that 5 times a day. Like whenever the animators run into something, I'll just, if I don't have something more important to do, I'll just go and fix it. Okay, yeah, ears work. I mean, this is useless, of course, but it's there. Okay, let's cross that off the list. And next on the agenda is weight painting the top half of the head. So kind of everything except everything except the cheeks for now, just to keep things a bit focused. But the eyelids should be interesting. The eyebrows will be boring, but we'll start there. So, this layer UI being broken is really gonna bite me in the ass. But it's fine. Okay, so for now, let's just do some basic, obvious cleanup of disastrous automatic weights for the first time. And if you see me doing anything that you find strange, like this UI, then check the description for the add-ons that I'm using. That are all homebrewed. Oh, and I need to turn corrective smooth off. Disaster weights. Do we have X-meter on? Yes. Then we hope that it symmetrizes good. It seems so. I should also maybe turn the mask off, just in case. Yep, because of stuff like that. What has all these weights if not the head? Oh boy. The ears? The neck? What the heck? Oh boy. Let's find out. Mask. Deform. Nothing. I guess the automatic weights just ignored this area because it was being masked out. Huh? I mean, that's fair. But I didn't know it worked that way. Kind of unfortunate, I guess. But whatever. Whatever, we'll just go over it with the blur brush and it will assign 1 wherever there is nothing. We can take away this madness from the ears. I think we aren't painting through the mesh right now. Front faces only is enabled, yep. So this is, by the way, one case where auto-normalize shines, because if you guys saw earlier how the ears were deforming, they were moving all of this area of the head. And now I can just paint this area to the head, and I know that the ears will no longer deform it. And that's thanks to auto-normalize. Since I can't add the weights to the head without subtracting it from somewhere else, because that's what auto-normalize does. I don't know if this neck influence is supposed to go all the way down there, but we'll worry about it later. What just happened there? Okay, I guess front faces only is not enough. I want a sphere fall off. I wonder if I messed up anything else in the meanwhile on the other side of the mesh. Probably yes. Let's see. Yep, I did. I painted a bunch all over this freaking eyelid. Ah, it's fine, we'll fix it. There's something else there as well. What have I done? This is not showing me anything. Okay, I mean the eyelid weights are messed up, which is expected, but apparently the armature is being posed. Oh, I have some action turned on. Oops. Let me summon, what? What is happening? Dove sheet, action editor. Get rid of this. And then we'll use the reset rig button. There we go. Okay. So, the back of the head now has its weights. Oops, I probably just painted on everything because I forgot that I am painting through everything. Not anymore. Alright, what is the difference between CloudRig, BlendRig and Rigify? CloudRig is a feature set of Rigify. Rigify is a procedural rig generation tool, and BlendRig is a one preset rig for humans only. Is skinning / weight painting your job? Yes, along with all the rest of the rigging pipeline. Why do you need this much movement on an ear? You don't, but you can have it. And it's very cheap to do. Like, it took me 5 minutes to rig this, and now it can do that thing. It's like a very small benefit for a very small amount of work. So I like to do it because it's fun. But you are correct, it's technically completely pointless. But if it's not fun, why bother? Ain't that right, Reggie? What the heck is this mess? This is not normalized. What? No vertex groups to operate on? What do you mean, no vertex groups to operate on? This guy is crazy. Is the normalize all operator broken? Dude, normalize all operator is totally broken. What happened? Is it? Oh, is it because the armature modifier is off? Aha! It's not broken. It's just esoteric. And it didn't normalize earlier because I had the modifier off by accident. Oopsie. So here I'm using multi-paint to make sure that these two edge loops are fully owned by this row of bones. So multi-paint, good. And then I can see some kind of unevenness there. We can blur that out a bit as well. And now same treatment for the next section, and I'm painting through the mesh. Or not? I guess I got lucky because I was only subtracting. But anyways. Oh, what happened there though? And here. It's just the same mistake that I mentioned earlier. It's fine. Nothing ever happened. Okay, there's some spam. Some wave painting around the mouth too. It's possible, but we'll fix it later. We'll get there later. I mean, yeah, it's a disaster, but it probably was already a disaster. It's fine. Don't worry about nothing. We only have an eyebrow to worry about. Or a forehead, I guess. My shoelaces are very tight. I am in tremendous pain. Literally nothing can be done. It has been solved. Let's see these ears. They still have like a monstrous influence over there. Where's the... Oh, I want my armature layers, god damn it. Where's anything? Oh. Root ear. So let's try to make this not so crazy. What's going on here? Oh god. It seems like maybe this is double parented to this. Oh no. No, I'm stupid. The parts of the ear that are not parented to the ear control should be parented to the root of the ear control and not the head. How do we switch between different bone strengths? I do not. I switch between add and subtract and blur. I never use... I don't paint a specific number of the weights. I know other people do that, but I don't. So placing more bones really works better. It's too early to say. In fact, I will probably only know months later when I had time to reflect on how the animators felt about the deformations and stuff like that, and how I felt about setting up the facial actions. It will be an experiment that we'll have to take to the end. Unless it turns out to be a disaster early on that we can't continue with because it's so terrible that I'll have to redo a bunch of stuff. But I think that is unlikely to happen. I don't care much about these ear weights, we just do something rough here and we'll call it final. As long as it's not a complete disaster. Okay, so moving the ear from the root. Still has quite some influence on the jaw, which I don't think I want. Okay. This is fine. Almost. 5 more minutes, Mom. Best ear rig ever. Okay. No more ear. Enough of this madness. We'll transfer these weights to the hair later, so we don't care about the hair right now. Let's get back to cleaning up these face bones. La, 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 la. Nothing to talk about. I am just putting down weights. And that's what's gonna be happening for the next probably hour. So if you thought the last streams were boring, oh boy, you've seen nothing. You have merely tasted the boredom. I was born in it, molded by it. Is rigging humanoid figures more difficult, or is it creatures that are not humanoid? I haven't rigged creatures, I guess. I would expect them to be easier. Because who's gonna say, that's not how your design is supposed to deform? You know? They're wrong. It's your design. It deforms how you say it deforms. But when somebody says, that's not how a human face deforms, they're probably right, and you fucked it up. Then you feel bad. Yeah, we should make a monster movie. You will probably enjoy that. Because we're a bunch of weirdos. Do you think this is really a job for artists? No. If you're an artist, don't be a fucking rigger. No, Jesus Christ, no. No, rigging is a technical job. Rigging is closer to developing than to art. You can call it tech art, but tech art is just tech. Unless it's really pretty, then sure. But usually tech art is not that pretty. Usually tech art is pretty because you're like, holy shit, how did you do that? How did you crunch those numbers to create this mediocre but impressive visual? How to change the brush weights? Shift F. TLDR on the goal and process right now. Sure. Currently, I'm doing a very boring thing, which is just doing an initial cleanup pass on the automatic weights of the forehead and the eyebrows. And then after that, we will move down to the eyes and do some slightly more interesting stuff, but first there will also be weight cleanup there. But also the weight cleanup there is going to be more interesting as well, because there's a blink that we have to make work. Whereas for the forehead, it's just kind of, you know, just stuff moving up and down. Not going to be super interesting. And I just know that as long as these weights are kind of consistently distributed, it's gonna just work. So I don't really even need a deformation to check on that. I mean, I will to check if I made any mistakes, but I know that as long as the weights, you know, look like this, with this nice, boring, smooth fall-offs, things will just work. The eyelid is maybe more interesting in the sense that sometimes you have to put some random weights in some weird places. I mean, okay, that's not quite accurate, but like on the forehead, I can just kind of blur the hell out of everything. And on the eyelid, there can be situations where you don't want your weights to be too smooth, because you will lose the control that you need to make a crisp blink or something like that. So again, with multi-paint here, I'm checking that the weights are consistent both in the rows of bones and the columns of the bones, because consistency is good. And then we will check the result in a second in terms of deformation. And maybe I will be surprised and this will need some tweaks. I mean, this bone is kind of an adventure because I think there's hair coming after it, so yeah, this is fine. So these weights are quite arbitrary and not in relation to some other bone, because there's no point putting further bones into the hair, underneath the hair, I mean, since the skin there will be invisible. Same situation is kind of going on here. So I'll expand these weights upwards a bit. So that when the hair is here, oh, actually, I mean, it's fine. It wouldn't have been the end of the world to have a bone here, but this is fine. Is good enough. Okay, let's move the eyebrow master around a bit. Look at that. Looks all right, I suppose. I might want to tweak the weights of not just the vertices, but actually the armature constraints on these low-level bones. But then again, nah, I mean, the eyebrows don't need to go higher than this. I was just a bit too far zoomed in and didn't see the forest from the tree. Yeah, let's just clean up the weights a little bit so that this vertex is going up a bit more. Huh. How will I achieve that actually? Why is it not doing that already? There we go. So those guys were lacking some influence. And then probably these guys as well. And there you go. We have like perfectly squashing forehead, I guess. Perfect enough. Oh god, a bit too many bones, I'm not gonna lie. Kinda hard to see what the hell is going on. But there is a single vertex here that it takes so many clicks to switch bone layers, holy moly. is going on here? Let me isolate some bones, move this guy up. And there is this single vertex. Now it's in the right spot. Okay. What's going on with this edge loop? It's kind of odd. Ah, because I decided that these bones should own 2 edge loops fully. It seems like that was a mistake. Fair enough. Then we'll distribute those a bit better. Alright, bones, come out with your hands up and surrender your weights. They're not doing it. I'm blurring them, but they're not doing it. Maybe this is fine. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Okay, no point making this any prettier. Corrective smooth will take care of the rest. What if you have to be a rigger and an artist? Give up all hope? Depends. Do you have to be a rigger and an artist and have a full-time job? I mean, maybe it's possible, but maybe don't pile any more hobbies or kids on top of that, I guess. Time is a thing, and it is limited. Okay. So, the internet all around the office has been dying. Everybody stopped doing work and started playing ping pong and wrapping Christmas gifts. Oh, and I'm looping. There we go. Sorry about that. But we will get back to work right where we left off, because don't you worry, as soon as the internet disappeared, got my hands off the keyboard. No internet means no work. That's how this works. No stream, no rigging. That's the deal, I guess. I mean, hey, I did say I would rig this guy on stream, so that's what we're doing. Back to some good old boring weight painting. I wouldn't have wanted you guys to miss out on all this excitement. I said I would leave that sidebar open for a second, so I'll do that. How long have I been gone? I hope it wasn't too long, but yeah, sorry about that, guys. Technology, you know how it is. Okay, so before I go on the eyelids, I do want to touch up the surrounding area just a little bit, I think, but not to a tremendous detail, just a bit of a bare minimum. We also didn't do the area underneath the eyebrow, so I'll do that as well in a second. And I keep closing the sidebar, sorry. I want to keep it there so you guys can see when I switch between brushes. Since I can't use screencast keys because that kills autosave. Okay, so let's see underneath the eyebrow. Let me hide the eyebrow part of the eyebrow. Okay, so this is our eyebrow skin. Why can't I add weights to this? Oh, because that's not a vertex. That's a that's a bone shape. Oops. My vision is a bit crappy for a decade and a half now. So sometimes I get goofed. Okay, so wait a minute. Where's my... Oh, these are these the... Oh yeah, they are upside down. Okay. So these are the bones that I have for in between the eyebrow and the eyelids. They are pretty, like, damn, this guy's I don't know anatomy, but like the forehead part of his skull is deep, which is fine, but I wonder how much influence the eyebrows should have on that area, and I think the answer is a lot. I think a lot is going to work just fine. That is kind of crazy looking though. Maybe that's too much. Well, we'll start with that and we'll see from there. Maybe I'll insert an extra row of bones here, but I would prefer to avoid that. Yeah, I feel like it shouldn't be necessary. So the influence of the eyebrows should probably go down all the way to that edge loop and strictly no further. So maybe we can just do a little vertex selection here. Something like this. I hit the sidebar again. No idea when. I think I have a crazy amount of muscle memory for keeping my UI clean. Speaking of which, I don't know why I have the stats open. Which actually comes back to the fact that I'm blind. I like to have everything full screen, so I use control space a lot. Let's see if it's fixed now. I believe it is. Sorry about that. I had to restart the computer after the internet died for the 16th time, and then I forgot to turn the microphone back on because it turns off whenever you restart the computer. But you guys didn't miss anything at all. I didn't say anything useful. I was just talking about vertices, having a little nice time making space for each other, like nice vertices, you know, happy little vertices. shouldn't have done that. Oops. This is not an eyelid bone. It is allowed to have weights out here. Although... Let me open the eyelid action. Yeah, I think these vertices should be fully owned by this eyelid bone so that they can properly fold over and close. Something like that. Is there an advanced rigging course on the Blender Cloud for characters? For modeling characters, for sure. For rigging, there's the Cloud Rig tutorial. And humane rigging, although it's a bit outdated now because it's on 2.7, but I think it's quite applicable. I think you can find something, sure. Should put on some music. Yeah, I know, but I need to find music with a fitting license and stuff, and I never bothered. If anyone has like a recommendation of a playlist that has music that you can play on a live stream, then sure. But the thing is that it's important for the live streams to stay available after the stream, and if you put copyrighted music, then that may not be the case, or that may not be possible. How long to rig a character? I don't know, 80 hours, 100 hours. Let's say main character with feedback. That's my guesstimate to the hours burned throughout a production. But it's probably not accurate because what does that mean? 100 hours, 2.5 weeks. I don't know, maybe more than 100 hours. How long does it take to make a good sculpture? How long does it take to make a good painting? How long does it take to make a good drawing? Do people of other crafts get these kinds of questions and have to answer them? Because I don't see how you could answer any of these questions. How long does it take to become successful? How long does it take to learn things? To me, these are impossible questions to answer. But hey, look, this eyelid is kind of not looking like a disaster anymore, I dare say. Now it's just a bit of extra smoothing. I wonder if we want that edge loop to still be fully owned by the eyelid bones. Yeah, I think so. There's enough other edge loops to go around. But in that case, I should make it official by masking out those edge loops and painting them with a weight of 1.0. There we go. Much less wonky. And then we can do some blurring with all the bones selected, and we should have a pretty beautiful eyelid here. I think that's what we got. Maybe we can unmask the inside, which is not that important, of course, but... Well, actually, maybe this should be weighted to the head instead? Yeah, I think so. So I would just remove these weights. And then maybe blur some of this stuff. Yeah, I'm satisfied. Oh well, let's see the individual bones. Yeah, looks good to me. Riot just released an album that is made for streamers and completely copyright free. No way. What? I don't believe you. Riot copyright free playlist. No way. That's insane. Except I don't have Spotify Premium. Is it on YouTube? Crap. No. Creator Safe Music Guidelines. Holy shit. Holy shit! Oh my god. No way. That's insane. That's quite a list. Alright, let's put on some music, guys. This is a collection of music that is 100% owned by Riot Games. It can be used in streams of or content creation as long as it follows the legal jibber jabber rules on our website. I mean, should I check that? I should probably check that. So can I search for legal jibber jabber? Legal Riot Games. There's a tweet as well. Let's do the same thing. Oh boy. Benefit of the community, we generally on board with projects that follow the rules outlined below. I don't know. I don't understand their legal jibber jabber. It's too much of legal and jibber jabber. It kind of sounds like they only want you to use their music when you're streaming their game or something. It's also strictly for non-commercial. I don't know if this stream counts as commercial. I would say no. The stream is free for everyone. I think we go for it. It's too good not to. Let's hit it. We're on free Spotify, so we might get some ads. And I might have to figure out how to balance the music with my microphone audio. Let's see. Fucking jammer. Okay, the microphone is picking up some of the stuff from my headset as well, though. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, how is this, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear some music that we hopefully aren't copyright infringing? I'll catch up on some comments. Have you heard of Maxim's purchase of ZBrush? Yeah. But I don't use ZBrush, so I don't know. And we don't use, and none of us use ZBrush because we use Blender, so it won't affect us, but I hope that ZBrush will have a bright future. He will probably weight paint all 80 plus face bones, which takes forever. Yep, that's true. It will take forever, unfortunately. Is it possible, or does it make sense to split rigging tasks in Blender? Like someone does facial rigging while the other person rigs the body. I think it makes sense, but I don't know how you would do it. Look, if you have a lineup of characters and you guys are able to work on separate characters, then yeah, I think it certainly makes sense, because the body is so much easier to rig than the face, that splitting it up to two people could make production more efficient. But I mean, yeah. Some spam here. I don't know. I think it's kind of a shame when people get pigeonholed into a very specific task on a production. It happens very naturally, unfortunately. So like, imagine if you have to rig stuff on a project for 3 years, but you only rig bodies. I think that's kind of unfortunate. Only rigging faces, I mean, that's gonna keep you challenged. That's gonna stay interesting, but rigging bodies, that would get kind of boring, man. All right. Okay, so I'm happy with the upper eyelids, I suppose. I mean, we will need to tweak the action so that these ones actually twist, so that we have a chance of, you know, having it look good in motion, because right now it kind of comes down like blinds instead of going around the sphere. So we'll fix that later. For now, the weights seem fine. So lower eyelid. Now these weights don't seem fine at all. Wait, what? What is happening? Eyelid lower, close, open. Did I not do this? Maybe I didn't. I swear I did this action last stream. Yeah, it should be this one. Am I going crazy? This action editor is for the freaking mesh, not the armature. Oh my god. Silly, silly blender. Silly. Bad. Bad blender. Okay. Oh man, this music is so sick. I'm so glad that somebody pointed this out, whoever it was. That Riot just released a freaking album with 600 songs that are apparently we are allowed to use without getting sued. Which I didn't double check very thoroughly, but I made an effort. I made an attempt. I mean, it certainly says that we're allowed to use it as per their legal jibber jabber. And I tried looking at their legal jibber jabber, but I didn't understand it. But you know, I'm sure it's fine. Like, imagine if you're Riot and you release an album that people are allowed to use, and then some guy streaming Blender content, you know, everyone's favorite beloved 3D software, gets nuked for using it. It would be bad PR, right? So I'm sure they wouldn't do that to us. I tried reading the legal jibber jabber. It's gonna be fine. I'll keep telling myself that. You guys don't hear the music? That's odd. I think it's just very quiet, but I can increase it. I was just worried that it would be too loud. This is getting pretty loud though, but I don't know how loud I am. This is now significantly louder than before, so let me know. And for some reason I am not hearing myself, which is kind of annoying. But I guess if I reduce the system volume, that won't reduce it for you guys. Yes, it does. Ah, god damn it. Well, whatever. I'll just talk louder. Oh, but now it's peaking. Jesus Christ. This is complicated, guys. Sorry. But anyways, just keep updating me on what the audio is doing. Also, now the music is gonna turn louder. No, you're not gonna hear me at all. Testing, testing, testing. I feel like this has to be too loud, no? Okay, let me drop it down a little bit. There you go. But I mean, yeah, if you have a lower quality audio system, then maybe you won't hear it when it's quiet. But anyways, back to throwing weights around. Oops. I should probably use vertex masking here because I'm gonna mess everything up otherwise. I really wish I had feedback from the mic set up properly, because then I could hear how loud I am. But next time. Okay, so how many edge loops should be rigged to this eyelid fully? Probably just these ones. Maybe one more. Nah, just these. Where's my rig? What is going on? Is it because it's not selected? So. And how far down do we allow the influence to go is another question. And my intuition tells me that this is too far. Perhaps way too far. What is happening here? Oh, because they're hidden. Okay, that's fine. Okay, these guys should not be affecting the inner mouth. I'm just spreading some weights to that specific layer of edge loops up here, one edge loop up here, so that I can then select all the lower eyelid bones again, do my vertex mask and blur this stuff down. Since the blur brush normally distributes weights, or equalizes weights among all the bones that are affecting a certain vertex, but a second ago only one bone was affecting that vertex, so the blur brush did nothing, which is not helpful. Similar situation here on some vertices. And the same solution. Works like a charm. Actually, even one more layer should be included, I think. I can't see what I'm doing. What is happening? Go away, eyeball. So these we want fully belonging to the eyelid. Like that. How to see if the unaffected face to be black instead of blue? It's an option in the overlay settings. called 0 weights. It's default, I guess it's set. I don't know what it's set to by default. I don't know why it's not doing anything right now. But when you set it to active, it's supposed to show 0 weights is black instead of blue. About the GiB rig, 5-minute walkthrough of either the mouth or eyes, at least one eye then. Do I have GiB on this computer? I don't think so. We have no, maybe my user folder. She's online somewhere. If you find me the link online where we put GiB's rig, which is not easy to find, then I will open it and try to figure out how it works, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Other than that, there was a lot of shenanigans going on with shading and booleans and crazy stuff. Wait, what? Who owns these vertices if not the head? Some random top eyelid? What? That's not good. That's not true. I'm confused. Oh, top outer. Even better. Aha. That's not good. Okay. I would like this loop of vertices to be rigged fully to the head. And maybe even one more. No. Just that one. Okay. Jeez, that lower eyelid action is going ham. Oh, that's because I'm using the control. Hi, do you work at Blender? Yes. I am here in the darkest corner of the Blender Animation Studio in Amsterdam. We are working on our next free character, or free? Not sure. We are working on our next character rig, similar to what Rain was back in the day. There is currently no short film in production, but next year there will be. Of course. Because we make movies. Sometimes. Okay, I think we have some nice enough eyelid weights. We could now fix the posing, or we could weight paint something else, but I would say let's fix the posing. Or not fix, but improve, I guess. So what do the colors that are on like the screen? They represent how much a given vertex is being influenced by the selected bones, where red means very much and blue means not much. I missed the question. Are you not a fan of mesh deform? You are exactly correct. Has CFD? Oh, yeah, I've seen that one. Why are you coloring the eyes? We're not coloring anything, guys. These colors are just representing influences, not colors. Not sure what those weird weights were. Wait, did I need those weird weights? This is very suspicious. What happens to those if I close the eyes? Damn it. Close the eyes. I guess they're hidden inside the mesh. Oh no, they're out here. Okay, but I can smooth them out and it's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, so to fix our poses, I mean, I will probably just redo them. What is happening? Oh, I'm on the wrong action. Of course. Let me just get out of this, select upper eyelid, close open, and reset the rig. Let's see what we got here. Kind of a disaster. Let me turn off the... oh, wait, maybe I don't need to turn off the subframe thing. And so, let's see if we can make this upper eyelid close in a way that it looks like it's sliding along an eyeball, even though it is not. So we want to twist this like so. I should actually also enable subsurf for this, since the subdivision will remove a tiny bit of volume. So if we want to get a super precise connection between the top and bottom eyelid, which we kind of do, why not, you know? Then it's nice to have that enabled, since this is what will actually appear on the render. But of course this does make us laggy, but that's fine. Rotate on X to bump this eye out. It's working much better than I expected, by the way. Then align it to touch the lower eyelid just the right amount. I also cheat a bit by translating the eyelid corner bones because why not? That's why. It helps. It helps close the corners, which is a tricky bit that I mentioned way back when I was placing the bones, that turning the smooth curve of the eyelids into something sharp edged is kind of tricky, but that's what we can do here. Maybe I over-rotated this guy a bit too much, or maybe I didn't rotate this at all, but anyways. So I'm using the inside of the eyelid here as a reference, and now let's see if that was a good idea. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, except there's something pumping out here. Maybe this should shift a little bit elsewhere, but let me keyframe this for now. In fact, let me keyframe it here so we can see the difference. Before, after, there you go. So before it was... Hey, where's my subframes? Oh, subframes are better visible because of the lag. But this is how it closed before. And this is how it will close now, which is still not good enough, because this in-between frame was not corrected yet. We can do that real quick. Oh, well, maybe we don't even need to. No, I think we will need to. Okay, yeah, so we just need to push it out here when it's halfway through to create a bit of a curve in the motion. Maybe this is too much, but we'll see. I might go even further, I guess. I guess I should enable the eye and just look at it. It's good enough for my standards, guys. I'm happy. Or am I? I don't know. I mean, this part looks like it's a bit wrong, but... Nah, I'm gonna leave it. This is fine. Let me tweak that final pose just a tiny bit more, maybe. Let's look at it from a distance. There's kind of a bump here in a weird way. Yeah, you see that thing? That's kind of sneaky. I think that's because this is too far on the side. Yeah, so this goes from kind of the center to the screen left. It should go like a few edge loops further. Ah, shit. It's kind of not as bad as I expected, but I guess it should go this way. And then, yeah, that bump gets resolved there. Yep. Seems good. We'll do that. Be gone eyeball. Okay, something like this. Maybe I would twist this still a bit. Yeah, I am satisfied for now. Let's mirror this over. Which means let me unhide, invert, mirror, isolate, press G. It's already done, that's fine. Then let me just select all of these guys, insert the keyframe, come here, select these three, mirror, keyframe, and then I guess, wait, this still looks a bit weird. Oh, because this bone, this middle keyframe should probably be deleted and redone. Something like that. Wait, do I not have mirror posing on? Oh, then I did not mirror anything. Oops. Let's try that again. There we go. Middle frame. These three, mirror it. Keyframe. Okay. Still kind of a weird dent going on here, but it's like it's very subtle, so let me see what it's like without subsurf. Yeah, I mean it's fine. I'm not dissatisfied enough to worry about it. What's the shortcut key for add keyframe? I think the default is I, but I bound mine to E, which is another reason why having this the shortcut overlay would be unhelpful. Do I render it? No, I don't do rendering. I'm just a rigger. I rig things, I don't render nothing. Unless somebody tells me to open a file and press render. I have a question. Are you the creator of Blender or his friend? Because how do you have picture on Blender? I don't understand the question, but I am certainly a friend of the creator of Blender. What are must-read books for beginner 3D artists? I don't know. Books. I'm sure there's great ones out there, but for me, personally, trying to learn 3D from a book seems counterproductive. You can learn anatomy from a book, but even that, honestly, I would rather learn from some kind of 3D tool, like a 3D anatomy reference, rather than a book. But that's me. You must be very tired. You've yawned like 5 times. I am very tired. Because the stream died 5 times today and that annoyed me. And also we are moving, which is very exhausting. This is how long it takes to make the character blink. Yeah. Yeah, this plus the last stream. Add some teeth there to look more interesting. Teeth in the eyes? Sure. Do you know where Blender Octane comes out on AMD? I have no idea. Use cycles. How much time this stream will take? That's a good question. How long am I streaming? I was originally planning to go until 7, which is 15 minutes from now. But then the stream died a bunch of times. I'll say, let's do another 45 minutes and then I'm off. How long ago did you close your eyes? So very good work, thanks. I should blink more. I don't know if that's what you mean, but I have a problem with dry eyes for sure because of looking at monitors all day and not blinking enough. Now you clearly know how many streams remains to upload the rig, isn't it? No, that's not how it works. successfully added 45 keyframes for keying set. What does this mean? That I had 45 divided by 9 bones selected, and it added 45 keyframes for those bones, I guess. I don't know. So each keyframe is either for X, Y, or Z, location, rotation, or scale. I have it set to insert keyframes for all of those things. So if I have one bone selected, it will insert 9 keyframes. I want to learn Blender from you. Well, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. Looks like the shape on the book, The Art of Moving Points. Yeah, you see, I looked at The Art of Moving Points, and to me it felt super abstract. I didn't learn anything from it. I couldn't, despite my best efforts. Well, people say it's good, so it must be good, but I can't recommend it. It looks like you're making good progress, though. Yeah, I agree. We did nice eyes today. That's good. Eyebrows should also function, but could use some actions. Am I Russian? No, I am from Hungary. If you got a computer and an internet connection, books are kind of overpowered by YouTube. For education of 3D art, I agree. How did you copy that whole eyes rig onto the other eye? What is the hotkeys for it? It's complicated. There's a lot of aspects of my workflow where lots of symmetry options are enabled. On the last stream, when I set up the iRig, I used the symmetrize operator. That's usually what you need. So that's the best I can answer the question, but that's not the complete answer. But that's the majority of the trick. Holly-ho. Alright, back to whatever I was doing, which I have no idea what it was anymore. Whew, I am getting very hungry. So yeah, 45 minutes tops, guys. What do I want to achieve in that 45 minutes? Let's see, I had a to-do list. And now it's gone, because I had to restart the computer. But I will find it. It is... right... I know you guys can't see this. This is private to-do list. Weight paint the forehead, eyebrow, eyelid areas. That's done. Add eyelid twist. Okay, we can do that. That's easy and that's kind of fun. Let me unhide the eye then. So what does my to-do list mean by eyelid twist? Not what I'm doing right now. It is... I'll just show you. I'm gonna close the eyelids halfway-ish, a bit less maybe. I'm gonna create an action. I'm gonna name it rig snow eyelid upper twist. Then I'm gonna select and isolate some of these bones that I'm gonna be touching and looking at. Actually, maybe the opposite side as well. Like that. And then I keyframe these controls. And then on frame 20, I will make it so that the eyelid does a little rotation. Like that. It gets a nice little cartoony, angry expression. We want to make this quite extreme to make sure it's more extreme than the animators will ever need it. Maybe this is already enough, maybe a bit more. And to be fair, this action won't work in all scenarios. If you try to activate this while the eyelids are fully up, and then it's going to result in some disaster. It's going to work best if you start off from when the eyelids are a little bit lowered. But I'll let the animators worry about that, and if it's not working quite like they want, they can always just touch these eye bones directly and tweak stuff to their heart's content. I forgot to keyframe the opposite side for the beginning shape as well. I want these to be linear, which I think I never explained quite why, but I don't know how to put it into words. It's when an animator is sliding the control, you want their input to be applied to the eyelids linearly, because why would you do it any other way? Okay, so now I want to twist it the other direction to make like kind of a cartoony, I guess like a scared or worried expression. And what I mean by cartoony is that, of course, human eyelids can't do this nightmare, but cartoon characters sure can. And snow is kind of both, or some mix in between. And either way, of course, you don't have to use this functionality. It's just there if you choose to. Poor guy is miserable. I mean, this looks pretty bad, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work in a good way, but we'll test it. And so to set it up the same way as yesterday, we're gonna create a new action setup here in this nice little UI. I should really fix the friggin' wait. Crap. Whew, I done goofed, guys. You know how I kept saying I should really fix the quaternion rotations on these things? Well, I should have done that much earlier. Because now the actions that I just made for the blink, and also the one for the twist, I'm gonna have to redo them. Shit. Oh, I'm so dumb. Why didn't I do that ages ago? Why? We'll just put everything on XYZ. For most things it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see what happens. So I animated those actions. Thankfully not too much, like this could have been way worse. It's a good thing that the UI warned me, even if I ignored the freaking warning like 5 times, which I shouldn't have. So I animated these actions with the wrong rotation order, which is quaternions, which are great. But these are controls that the animators could potentially want to animate, especially the eyelid bones. So those, and they want interpolation. They don't care as much about interpolation as much as they care about having the XYZ axis make sense in the graph editor. And for that to be the case, you need Euler rotations, which I didn't have. So that was a big mistake. Okay, let me look at the blink. It survived? Wait, but what? How is this possible, guys? I think I might be a genius. I think I saved myself. I think past me has delivered salvation, although I don't know what this ocean of invalid drivers is. But I think in CloudRig, does it? Wait. So maybe if it's set to quaternion, it will force it to be Euler? But I don't think it does. Huh, it totally does. Great. Then I'm fine. I'm a genius. My past self predicted that my future self would be an idiot. And I literally do not allow you to create quaternion controls with Cloud Copy. Perfect. Okay. Nothing is lost. Except a bunch of time. So let's get back on track. And I totally forgot what I was doing. The eyelid twist. Which in that case is also fine, so... Oh, I didn't set it up. Because I was in the middle of that when I realized that everything is broken. I should find out what this ocean of invalid drivers is, but I will do that right after. So... the bone. Right. So to set up the action, we select the bone. We put that in there with the frame range is always 0 to 20 because that's what I'm setting it up to whenever I'm keyframing the actions. I want the local Z rotation of like minus, I don't know, 30 to plus 30. Is that too much? Nah. And wait. Z rotation, I said. Let's try that. Are you going to finish the facial rigging this stream? No, I'm ending the stream soon. I will try to stream on Friday, so not tomorrow, but the day after. But that's never a promise with me because sometimes stuff just comes up at the studio that I have to do and then it takes priority over streaming. If that doesn't happen, then see you on Friday. How do I do it so I have the same pose on the left arm as on the right arm without posing it all again? You can enable x-axis mirror in pose mode in the sidebar under tool, pose options, x-axis mirror. You can also do Ctrl-C, Ctrl-Shift-V, but I don't know if that relies on an add-on or if that's built in. I bet the new pose library is going to help transfer these to your animations so well now. Oh, to your animators. Transfer these to your animators. Well, the pose library is kind of the animators' domain. So they're going to make the pose library for themselves. I think there's no point in me making it for them because they know the poses that they want much better than I do. It's really nice. Eyelid deformation, all bones. Yep, the eyelid is all bones. And so this stream was split up into a bunch of pieces because the internet was dying, but I rigged this today on the live stream, so we will have to just find the earlier versions, the earlier sections of the live stream on the channel. Maybe at some point we'll try to combine them into one so it's not a big mess. And I'll have to delete the ones that are like 6 seconds long because the internet immediately died as soon as I started streaming. Alright. Once again, I forgot what I was doing. Something with actions. Yes, this is working now for the first time. Cool. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if anyone ever used this direction of the eyelid twist. I just put it there because, again, it's like small effort, small benefit. Might as well do it. However, this one is nice for making angry faces. Like you can make him angry without eyebrows, which is not normally possible in this real life. We should also make an eyebrow action so that, because this eyebrow currently relies only on parenting, which is fine. And actually maybe it should own a bit of this, to be honest. It totally should, definitely. I'm gonna do it in a sec. But, for example, to stick the outer edge of the eyebrow a little bit in place, we might use an action constraint to counter animate it a little bit. Maybe that's actually stupid. Maybe they should only be partially parented to the eyebrow master. I'll think about that, but for now, let's do the lower eyelid twist, which is, of course, just the same thing as the upper one. So that's easy enough. create a new action, rig dash snow underscore eyelid lower twist. We hope that the naming is consistent with the rest of the stuff. Seems so. Then we pose the eyelid to be a little bit raised up. Arbitrarily, whatever. Then we isolate these guys. Then we isolate the deform bonds, which are not really necessary. I just like looking at them. I feel like I get a better sense of what I'm doing. And then let's... Oh, wait, I should change the frame. Wait, I should put a keyframe. Ah! I'm doing everything all wrong. Insert keyframe, go to frame 20. Do a twist. You see, for example, here, like, if I was only looking at the mesh, it wouldn't be super obvious why this dent is happening. And it's very subtle. But if you look at the bone, then it's, like, super clear. So I just rotate this, and now no dent. I think I'll make this more extreme. Just a little more extreme, I guess. Like so. Okay, good enough. Why are we not symmetrical? There we go. I know it looks pretty ridiculous, but if you don't push it this extreme, just use it subtly, then it can be useful, I'm sure. I think, yeah, it was supposed to be on frame 0, and I think I will have to fix the other thing. But anyways, let's do the twisting in the opposite direction. Something like that. And then let's do the action setup. What I did just now, by the way, was very dangerous because I removed an action from the action editor without assigning a fake user. Blender warned me. Oh, I keep doing things in the wrong order. And the reason that's dangerous is because if you then save and reload your file, you will lose your action, which is usually not ideal. I thought you also made some of the general poses for them along with rigging everything. Nah, they're animators. They're much better at posing than me. I mean, I do have to do the kind of posing that is like moving the formation bones to move the lips wide or up and stuff like that. But I wouldn't consider that, you know, posing. It's more like, that's just moving bones around, okay? Which is totally not posing. Okay, I don't know what I'm even saying, to be honest. So I don't blame you if you don't understand what the hell I'm going on about. Okay, I twist. Okay, it's the wrong way, that's fine. We will flip it. Do we flip it in the action or do we flip it in the keyframes? This time let's flip it in the keyframes. Then we don't even need to regenerate. Lovely. So see, if you use it subtly and not like insanely, then I think you can get some nice little detail out of it, I guess. Whatever, the upper eyelid is more important, that's for sure. Alright, that's one more thing off the list, I think. Yep. Next is eye ring controls, which is very easy. Let's do it. I just duplicate the eyelid controls and then rename them. Then change their bone shapes. What should their bone shapes be though? Something generic. Actually, wouldn't mind the semicircle, which I don't have in my presets, but I should. Yeah, I'll just make a circle, rename it to widget eye ring. Actually, let's just make it a semicircle. We can do the rest from the bone shape customization stuff. So we want Z scale to be no, never mind. We want X scale to be squashed out like this, this like this. Then we want to put it in a proper position, like maybe there. Does this have an insane translation offset? Nah. That's much better. And then let's copy that to a bunch of other stuff. Copy bone shape. And these ones we want to flip back. Like that. And I guess flip the offset as well. The translation, there we go. We have those guys, and then let's generate so they exist in the generated rig. Is there any way to change custom bone shape's thickness? I do not believe so. I agree that would be really nice for accessibility. I think maybe there is kind of a way, but I think if you set line width to thick, yeah. So if you need it for accessibility reasons, which I totally understand, you can set your line width to thick, which is gonna kind of mess up your interface a bit, but it happens to also make bone shapes a couple pixels thicker. So yeah, I can recommend it, I guess. But I wish there was a proper way to do that, to be honest. I think Blender in general could do a better job with its accessibility, but what can you do? It doesn't seem to be a priority when it comes to software design, to be honest. Which is pretty bad. We don't want the limit location constraint on this. In fact, we don't want any kind of constraining on this. And then we want to parent some of these guys to it. I'm not sure if fully or only partially, but first let's do it fully. So I'll add these armature constraints, which are pretty much parenting. Where is it? Constraints, bam. Then I mirror those constraints and do the same thing up here. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, and then generate rig. Why don't we just spam like one letter? Like, what is the point of that? Like, if you're gonna spam something, at least like spam something spicy. Like spam a fucking darknet drug selling website. But why the letter E? It's so uninteresting. Any future plans on CloudRig? Nothing specific, I guess, but we're gonna keep using it, we're gonna keep developing it. I'll keep adding features that we need, improve existing ones. Tomorrow I want to try to add the jaw rig type, which I don't know if it's gonna be successful yet. So nothing specific, but I'll keep working on it, for sure. Especially when next production kicks off. But even now, after the initial version of Snow is ready, while I'm addressing feedback on Snow, I'm probably going to have plenty of spare time to work on CloudRig stuff. But I'm pretty happy with where it is. But things can certainly be better. I don't worry, I do have a 200-line long list of things that could be better, so there's always stuff to do, if stuff needs to be done. Okay, so the main purpose for these eye ring master controls will be when the animators want to squash the eyelids a lot, like a lot. Then they will move these down, and I want them to be able to do that pretty extremely without having to do manual tweaks too much. So I want to do partial parenting on the side ones. And it seems that they will be able to be parented like 90% to this bone and like 10% to the head, so that when this bone is fully pulled down, and this bone is pretty much touching the eyelid, then these bones should also be only touching the eyelid instead of clipping through it. That is what we will try to do. And I think to figure out the numbers, I'll just do them here first. So we want this to be technically not the head, but instead the root eye. Do we though? Not sure. Not really. Maybe, yeah. I mean, the root eye is a pretty useless bone, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's only there for mechanism reasons, but I guess we might as well use it for technical correctness. So we wanted 90% eye, 10% head, and the head in this case is the root eye. Oops, that's not what I wanted. It seems that that's not enough. So let's reduce this even more. No, give it more. Yes. Point. I guess maybe it's a third. Nah, not quite. 0.25, 0.75. But it looks pretty wonky. Maybe I should add an action instead. But, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I should. Or it could even be a transformation constraint. I'm short on time, so I'm just gonna leave this for now, but maybe we'll improve it later. And so the same number will probably, hopefully, work on this guy as well. Let's try it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the shape that's being created here is definitely super wonky. But that will have to be fixed later. Oh, maybe the number should be lower on this guy. Oh, what was that? That was the most random thing ever. I'm curious. What on earth? No idea. I think I pressed some keyboard on my I pressed a key on my keyboard that exists in the 4th dimension and Blender got confused. I am just as confused. Is this going to be a 50-50 split? I mean, this does not look great. But okay, maybe the weights of this are a bit wrong. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. Maybe they should have more. Yes. I need to turn subsurf off. So you can give up some of your weights, sir. And this guy can have them instead, yes. That's better, I hope. It's looking a bit rough, but it's still looking a bit rough. Yeah, man, damn, this is really gonna need an action to correct it. That's kind of a shame. Let's just do it. Let's make this behave good so we know what to do next time. So these 3 bones are all I care about, and I just want them in this particular pose to look good, and I will do whatever transformations are necessary to achieve that. Man, it's like everything is kind of all over the place. Okay, because these guys should also have an influence on those 3 vertices right there, for sure. I'll fix it in a second. I mean, these weights don't seem ideal either. Give me the form bones. Okay, this is getting better for sure. Did I initially forget to vape paint this area? Because I mean, this was such a disaster. I don't know what happened. I thought I did it, but I currently don't have a super clear memory of it. So maybe I forgot. Must have forgot. Do you guys ever feel like you might be a Skyrim NPC? I think that might be the case for me. I mean, how would we know? How would any of us know what happened to the music? It just died. Did the internet die? Oh no. Better not. Seriously, what happened to the music? Is there a limit on how much? Oh wait, actually I want Sim on Spotify, so I reckon he probably just started listening to music. Huh, that's why we didn't get ads. Thanks, Simon. We'll try incognito. Damn it, there's only like 5 minutes left from what I want to do anyway, so can I just search for one of my favorite songs, like... Why isn't it? Oh, because I'm probably supposed to use Spotify search. Nah, it has to be this one. Yes. Sign up for free. Get out of here, just let me listen to it. Ah, this is so sad. You know what, we'll do it from YouTube. And when this song ends, I have to be done with everything that I want to be done with. That's not gonna happen. Do you know more about the rig face selection add-on? I saw a demo that looked awesome. I think you saw my demo, but it's not awesome, unfortunately. How many streams do I need to finish it? I don't know. Data transfer modifier, head rig helper, question mark. I don't know what this question relates to. Is rigging in Blender easier than in Maya? I haven't tried in Maya, I don't know. I think you heard this question many times. I heard all the questions many times. How long time does it take to rig? I'll have to put it in the description. I have to have an FAQ. The answer is I don't know. I'll say 80 hours, but I don't think that's accurate. Alright, where was I? What do I want to achieve today in the next 3 minutes? I want to make this action work. That is achievable in 3 minutes. It is possible to be done. Okay, this is all I want. We want this to be symmetrical. Fuck, symmetry. Is it working? It's working. Bam. Linear. Yep. Meta rig. Yep. Actions. Another one. Did I name this eye ring up or down? Bone is eye ring upper the L. Come on. 0 to 20. Y location minus 0.25 is the max. What? Oh, frick's fuck. Therefore 0.025 is the min. That's it. Right? And then we go. What the heck? This is not how it's supposed to look at all. Oh, but that's because I missed my numbers. Oh no. my armature constraint numbers. What were they? This was 0.25, 0.75 question mark, and this one was the same, maybe. I don't know. We have 2 minutes left, guys, until I starve to death and until this song is over. It works. It's over. We did it. All we have left to do now is enjoy the music and remove this vertex weight. Boom, done. Okay, so I didn't achieve as much as I wanted to today, but it's not my fault. It's technology's fault. But I would say we do have nice eyelids, I guess. So that's progress. Let's see. And so, by the way, another reason why it's hard to guesstimate how many more streams there will be is because of stuff like this. Like, I couldn't stream for like an hour today because of internet. And then I didn't want to do work because I want the whole process to be recorded. And so my to-do list for today's stream is still quite long, but such is life. I don't want to stay here until midnight. But so iRig controls is done. So what will be to do for next time is rig the teeth. It's easy. Add top and bottom lip master controls. We'll see if that happens. I mean, it will definitely happen, but maybe differently from what I'm planning. Experiment with nose squash. That should be easy enough. Weight paint pass on the lower face. That's going to be slow and boring. And try adding higher level cheek controls so that creating the actions will be easier. Actions being the lip actions. So yeah, that's the plan for the next one. Maybe even more, since this is only half of what I wanted to do today. So that plus more. Hopefully I'll have a jaw rig that we can use. That's going to be fancy. And yeah, thank you all for coming. Sorry that the stream died 4 times. Such is technology. And yeah, thanks for hanging out in the chat. What's the matter with teeth rigging? Nothing. Teeth rigging is easy. It will be easy. You'll see next time. So yeah, have a good evening, guys. See ya.